side of it that's gotten like angry at you because of a mistake?
No. No one's ever been, at least not to my face, no one's ever gotten angry with me as far as tattooing goes. As far as piercing goes, yes. There's been a couple of times, actually, because there's more of. It's really easy to screw up a piercing. It just is. And there's definitely been times, like a couple times, where people just got really upset with me.
Is there like a particular story?
There's so many. Okay, this one time, several times actually. Okay, several times this has happened with noses. Okay, the first nose I ever pierced, it was a nightmare. I was being taught by another apprentice how to pierce a freaking nose, and it was on my friend, and I lost connection with the jewelry and the needle, so it wouldn't go into his into his nose completely, and it was just stuck there, and he's bleeding and crying, and it was just a horrible mess. I started crying because it was just so scary. Piercing just sucks when you're learning how to pierce it. It's like worse than tattooing, honestly. But that happened a couple times afterwards.
How did you fix that?
She had to take over. And then when I did one again, it was a success. But then there were other times where it's always with people with thicker noses that I get really scared. And I've just totally like lost connection, and then it wouldn't go through a couple times afterwards. That hasn't happened in a couple months though. So I think I'm good with noses.
Holly, how are you? Are you in like pain?
My leg itches really bad, but I didn't want to stop.
Yeah, you can let me know. Like, we can take a minute. Let me make sure that when you move that the microphone's still in the right place. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, this is kind of like a big question, but just off the top of your head, what's the most moving piece of art that you've ever like experienced, that you've ever seen, or like whether it be like a movie or a song or anything that's like really just the most powerful piece of art that you've ever seen? I mean, it could be a painting as well. Just literally the first thing you can think of.
The most powerful piece of art that I've ever experienced. It was a song. It's a song by Brandy Carlisle called "The Story." The first time I ever heard it, I was probably around 8 or 9, and it was the first song that ever made me cry, like that I ever had that reaction to. And I heard it a couple times. Like I used to watch VH1 in the morning when I was a kid and listen to the music. And I didn't hear it again until very recently. I found it. I just thought of it one day, and I found it on the internet. And I think it was actually on New Year's Day. And it made me cry again. It just made me sob. And I can't hear that song without, like, it just hit me really hard. It's just something about that song. I think it's the passion in her voice. It's just beautiful to me. It's the most beautiful piece of art I've ever experienced.
Okay, so whether it be that song or an image or a specific person or place or anything along those lines, is there anything like that that you wish you could capture in a tattoo? Like, has there ever been like a song or an art form or just any idea that you really want to put permanently on a body or just in art?
I really would love to capture moments of joy in art. I feel like I just don't. I'm not. When I'm happy, I don't make a lot of art. When I'm like super in a great mood, I don't make a lot of art. I don't even make music or anything. I guess I just enjoy the feeling. But I I wish that I could capture that in art. Any moment of joy, you know, like whether I'm outside, like playing with my little siblings, for instance, my little sister, when we have moments where we're outside and, you know, just goofing around and stuff, and I want to capture that in art, but I haven't ever, just because I typically just enjoy the feeling, I guess, and I typically, when it comes to emotion, I make my art based around like sadness and anger and sonder and like, you know, just weird emotions, I guess, and that's my outlet.
Okay, so when you get a tattoo yourself, or when you tattoo yourself, how does the process differ from the way that it is in your job and the way it is with clients? Like, how is your own tattoos and what you decide to put on your body and the process differ from the actual workplace?
Getting tattoos and tattooing myself is so much, it's worlds different than giving a tattoo. I think it really is, because for so many different reasons. Like, okay, tattooing myself hurts worse than somebody else tattooing me. So I have tattooed myself 3 times. The last time it was a horrible mess. I had like boogers dripping out from my nose, and I was like sobbing because of the pain and jolting in my leg. It was, it's on my thigh. But yeah, so I don't like tattooing myself. When I get tattoos from other people, it's different for me because I like to get to know the person that's tattooing me more than I like them to get to know me, I guess. And whenever I tattoo someone, I ask them a bunch of questions about themselves, and I ask them about their tattoo a lot. And a lot of times, my tattoos, their meaning is just to mark, I guess, a certain time. Okay, when I got the avocado tattoo, it was during this art night that my friend was hosting at his shop. And it was like this game thing that we did. We would get into different teams, and everybody had to write like a random thing on paper, like an object. And we put it into a hat, you know. We picked 2 randomly. And whatever 2 things that we picked, we had to try and draw those things together in one picture. And it was really silly. Like, we had, there was like a clown shoe sauce or something like that at one point. And I like a crab guitar. It was fun. It was really fun and interesting because everyone there was actually like artists. So everyone came up with really cool stuff. And when everyone was gone and everything, I was like, hey, Bull, you know, I want to get a tattoo from you because I already have like a couple tattoos from him. And I had been craving one because I really like his style. So, yeah, that's how the avocado came to be. I just wanted an avocado already, so I wanted him to do it in his own little style.
So why did you want an avocado?
I wanted an avocado because I like avocados a lot. I like to put them in my hair, and I like to eat them. My grandma makes really good guacamole too, so there's that.
I've made the conscious decision to check after every question.
Why not?
Right, so what the fuck was that?
The car.
Wood. Made not a car noise. Okay, so is there any imagery or subject matter you refuse to or stray away from tattooing, and why or why not?
I do stay away from tattooing any negative symbology or anything negative in general on people, or like painting anything that way. Like swastikas and pentagrams and inverted crosses and things like that. Just because 9 times out of 10, people regret things like that. People regret getting tattoos like that. And then you're part of that experience, that regrettable experience that they had. You know, everyone tends to grow past that phase of negativity and anger and confusion in life. We typically tend to grow from that. And so to get a tattoo to commemorate that, I just don't think that it's wise, and I don't want to put my energy into that either.
Alright, so if you weren't doing this for a living, what would you be doing instead?
If I wasn't a tattoo artist, I think right now I would be waitressing still, probably, and I'd be in college. I think I would be in college for psychology. I would want to be and doing anything that has to do with psychology. I'd like a psychoanalyst or a child therapist, something along those lines. I think would be really awesome because psychology is just really interesting to me. So yeah, that's probably what I'd be doing. That was such a tough question to answer. I gotta itch.
You answered it so well. That's the problem with these fucking answers. They were so good and genuine the first time around. I mean, not that they're bad now. It's just like, you have to repeat yourself.
Yeah. I think what makes my art unique from others is that I don't really stick to a particular style. I just I guess I'm just well-rounded, and I try new things a lot, and when it comes to technique, and mediums too. One thing that always stays, I guess, is like the theme of brightness, of colors and everything. I've never been someone who really likes black and gray and black and white things. I just love colors, and that's just something that I've always stuck with. But I do try a lot of different subjects, and I try a lot of different just a lot of different things with my art. And I'll have like series too of different things that are kind of the same. Like for a month straight, I'll have a consistent feeling or emotion, and then I channel that when I paint. Like recently I started doing rage art, and I've had my siblings help a lot with it too, where we'll just basically splatter paint all over a canvas and just mush it around with our hands and get like paint all over ourselves, and it's really fun and free, and it's not something that I ever really did before until recently. I've always been focused on above anything, I guess, trying to make a focal point and trying to focus on it in art, and really paying attention to just the way it looks, perfecting it, whatever it is, and usually it's people, but it's really free, and I like it. It's a very free art form. It's very abstract, and I like it.
And then, finally, just because I feel like the location was more important than just the tattoo shop, just where are we right now for the audience, and why is this area important to you?
We are across the street from my apartment. There's a lake and lots of trees, of course, and I really, really love this area. I've been walking this area and skating this area for the last 5 years, and it's just very peaceful, and I love to be outside. I love trees. I literally talk to trees, so it's a place that I can just like relax. It's like a happy place for me. It's like my zen place, I guess. It's beautiful to me like at all times of day. And I actually write a lot of music here. I like to play guitar here a lot. I form a lot of ideas here also. Just because it's the one place that I can actually relax, I guess, and just be focused.
Great. So those are all the questions. I know you have to be really bad, but I was gonna ask you if you would be cool with like playing guitar and singing for the camera, so I have that footage.
Sure.
And then that's all we have to do. Well, you can. Let me make sure that I frame this properly so we have like a thing. Actually, can you